What's going on? We are in Rouge Park in Detroit. I am looking forward to getting out here and hitting a couple of these trails. Haven't really been in this area before. I've driven through the park but not actually stopped. So there's some cool old historical architecture. I mean, at least the remnants of it. And yeah, some cool nature. Let's see what we can see, and hopefully we can see something other than a goose, because I feel like the last few times that's all I've seen is goose and some squirrels. So hopefully something different. Not that there's anything wrong with geese, but you know. Whoop. All right, so we are in the Sorensen recreation area of Rouge Park in Detroit, Michigan. Never been here before, and let's some little hiking trails with some history behind it, so let's see what we can see. In 1923, the Sorensens, they used to own the land that was right here, they sold the estate, like their farmland, along with 20 other landowners to create the Rouge Park, which is 1,181 acres. That's pretty cool. There's a map right here that I'm looking at, and it's I mean, it's not gonna show up on camera, but this is really cool. There's still a lot of work to be done here, I guess, and yeah, pretty neat. So this looks like the foundation of the house that was here. Looking right over the roof. So this land was, like I said, owned by Charles and Helen Sorensen. It was approximately 135 acres in total where they built their house. And they built their house here because they were friends with Henry Ford. And that way they could be neighbors. Which, I mean, this is just down the road from the Fairlane estate. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, you can see some of the remnants from this time period, just like this walkway along the Rouge. This is a cool bit of history, and you can see how it's kind of getting lost to time. And the only reason it looks this good is because people have worked hard at taking care of and restoring some of this. I don't even know which way I'm going on this trail, by the way. There's not really trail markers, so I think it's a very small society of people that work hard to restore what they can. So hopefully one day when I make it big on YouTube, I can draw some attention to sites like this, and maybe they can get more funding or have a lot more people reach out and have a day or two where they come and, you know, really put a lot of effort and work into helping local communities. So the entire time I've been walking along the river, this goose has kind of been following me and keeping an eye on me. I don't know if it's wanting food or if I'm near a nest and it's trying to keep an eye to make sure I don't snatch its eggs. It looks smaller, so it might be young and just trying to see if it can get some food off me. If it follows me long enough, I might get a granola bar for it. Just kidding. No granola bars for the goose. Can't feed the wildlife even if it wants it. It's not good for it. Can't fall in the mud now, can I? little runoff. You guys know what I always say about finding little hidden gems of wooded areas and relaxation hikes. This is in the middle of the city too. Well, on the edge of Detroit, but still surrounded by people, surrounded by homes. It's peaceful. Last thing I hear is that blue jay. I think it's mad at me or something, but it didn't start squawking until I started walking over here, so I think it's mad at me for something. Keep an eye out for different parks in your areas. Just get outside. It's worth it. So, with it being tick season, got to watch out. I did not get the medicated spray. I forgot what it's called. It starts with a P, I know that. I did not get the medicated spray. It's in my Amazon cart. But what I did get is a spider web across the face. Multiple spider webs across the face. But I do have multiple layers on. They're basically leggings underneath these jeans. And I keep an eye out, see if there's anything that crawls on my legs. So this is an eastern garter snake. It was actually designated as the official state reptile in 1995 because it can pretty much be found everywhere in the state. It is technically venomous, even though it's not harmful to humans. It has a mild neurotoxic venom in their saliva. It's only effective on things like frogs and earthworms. And if you get bit by one, it can cause minor itching. That's so extreme to me, minor itching. They're extremely cold tolerant. The first snakes to emerge in the spring and last to go into hibernation in the fall. Pretty cool. They also give live birth. Most snakes don't do this, but these snakes will give live birth to up to 40 at a time. And when you catch them like I did and got bit because of it, they release like a foul smelling musk, and it's kind of convincing to say, hey, don't eat me, I'm bad, I've gone bad. So here's another little sign I'm gonna read off of. So I guess Sorensen was actually pretty close with Henry Ford for over 40 years. He was able to interpret anything that Henry Ford spoke to him into drawings, patterns, and models. He was also had a reputation for being a harsh taskmaster in the factories. He was strongly against unionization, so wouldn't say he was the best guy ever. He aided Ford in designing the prototype Model T and the first assembly line. So, yeah, I mean, even though there's a lot of negative history associated with people like him, there's a lot of positive that came out of it. There's a lot of people that have jobs now, and how the world runs is based off of people like him and Henry Ford. He was involved in building and staffing the Michigan Willow Run bomber plant for World War II, and also he was a big proponent in the Rouge plant that we have kayaked by. Very interesting. Oh, here we go. Look at this. So we're here where the Sorensen house is, this area. We walked down all the way that way. That is the Dollinger estate, another close friend of Henry Ford, and the Fairley estate right down over here. Henry Ford Museum. And all the way down here is the Rouge plant. Kayaked all the way over there. Kayaked all the way over here from right here. Long distance. Alright, so we are now on Stonebridge Trail. I drove over here. I didn't feel like walking along a main road to get here. So, Stonebridge Trail it is. Very nice day outside. I like these informational signs along the trail because I mean, they're botany related, so I'm getting a little bit of education on these plants. Man, those engines are loud. Getting a little bit of an education on some of the plants that are in here around this area, and the native plants versus the non-native plants that are actually quite invasive and destructive. Quite interesting. Something that's not gonna really stick with me too much, because that's why I use my Google search, and it'll take a picture of it. That's my best bet, because this is botany's never been my strong suit. Animals can do that all day, but botany, I wonder what these markers are for. The trees look alive, so I don't know if they're keeping track of them, or if they're planning on cutting them out to try to help keep the environment stable, since this area has been polluted and mistreated for so long. I don't know. I'm sure I could find out on their Facebook page. So, the Friends of the Rouge. So I did just walk over some wild lettuce, which I did recognize, only because it looked delicious and I wanted a salad, and I know what wild lettuce actually looks like. So all my I'm not a botanist talk, I know what I can eat. Trust me, I know what I can eat. So as I did a video last week of my gear that I got, I want to point out my hiking boots. Now, they are very comfortable. They actually surprisingly are breathable because they're also waterproof. How do I know they're waterproof? Well, because while breaking them in, as my first time wearing them, I stepped into the river by accident because I grabbed a branch and I misjudged that branch could hold my weight even for a split second. So, waterproof, quite comfortable. I'll have to add that to my whatchamacallit, my wish list, so that way I can give you guys options for when you're out and about. And these are budget friendly. They are not expensive, because I am a cheapskate, and if I can find something that's cheap that does not hurt my feet, that is comfortable and supports my ankles while I am hiking, I'm going with the cheap option. There's no reason for me to spend a lot of money. So, when the park was created a long time ago, over 100 years ago, there's things left over, not the fire pit, from that time period. Those are remnants of concrete tables, picnic areas for people to enjoy nature and not worry too much about the stresses of the world at that time. You know, with the, what was it, post-World War and Great Depression and everything else. Everybody needs a little bit of this. So I want to thank you guys for coming out there with me and seeing the cool different things, like the some of the geese that we saw, the goslings, and the garter snake. That was pretty cool. There's actually a second one. I didn't catch it on film, but you know, it was pretty fast. I didn't want to chase it. It was already agitated, more agitated than the one that I had on film. Pretty cool stuff we learned today, and yeah. Please like the video. I really hope you like the video. Subscribe. Catch y'all later. Peace.